This is the 7th month of the year. 7 represents completion. It represents rest. It represents perfection. And for me, I look at 7 as, at least, especially this point in the year, as a time for a checkpoint. And it's not just to look back at what I've done or haven't done. It's to look ahead to what's coming, towards the rest of this year. For those of us who are really adamant about the things that we do, and we prioritize our list, and we set goals and strategize plans to execute these goals that we put in place. It's a good time to reflect. What do I need to complete what it is that I've done to close off the parts of the relationships or the networks or friendships that maybe I don't need to be a part of anymore. The calendar doesn't cancel your calling. It just identifies where you are, right? And allows you the time and the opportunity to, again, refocus, recommit yourself, realign yourself, and get back on track. All right, what's good? Welcome to the new episode of the Myles Hype Podcast. This is Myles Jr. I'm your host, and as always, the vision and goal of this podcast is to entertain, educate, and elevate you miles high above your fears, your doubts, and any limitations that you may think exist. Always knowing that those limitations, they only exist in your mind. All right? For starters, once again, want to invite you to our upcoming Explore Africa tour. It's going down November 20th to December 1st of this year. I'm excited to be going back to Africa. We're going to the country of South Africa in particular. More specifically, we're going to Johannesburg and Cape Town, the two cities in South Africa. Looking to have a great time, a great experience. Going to experience the culture, the people, the food. Man, you're just going to have a good time down there in South Africa. So I'm inviting you and your family and your friends, just bring a group with you. Let's go and have some fun together. All right. You can find out all the information on our website, exploreafricatour.com. That's exploreafricatour.com. Log on. You can find out all about information about the itinerary, pricing. We have some payment plans available for you as well. And I'm looking forward to seeing you later this year. Okay. All right. So, man, we are in the month of July. Well, we've been there for a couple of weeks now, but it's the middle of the year, right? This is the 7th month of the year. 7 is depending on how you look at it, is a special number. 7 represents completion. It represents rest. It represents perfection. And for me, I look at 7 as, at least, especially this point in the year, as a time for a checkpoint, right? A personal checkpoint, spiritual checkpoint, professional checkpoint. And it's not just to look back at what I've done or haven't done. It's to look ahead to what's coming, towards the rest of this year. And I wanted to take this episode just to share some points on reflection and why it's important. If we look at the number 7 in particular, the meaning behind it being rest. I take it back to the life book, as I always do. The book of Genesis. God created the earth and did all those things in 6 days, and on the 7th day he rested, right? So rest is important. Reflection is important. Taking time to just sit back and admire, like, where you came from, the point that you are now, and then looking forward to the future to see where you're headed and where you want to take it. I think this is a good time to reflect on the first half of the year. Just check. It's like a checkpoint, right? You look at, man, what was what goals did I set at the beginning of the year, right? What was my New Year's resolution, and where am I with that, right? You reflect with your the vision that you have, right? And you could realign with that vision if might have gone off course slightly or some sorts, and then you could reset your focus, reset your faith, and then reset your goals, right? Re-strategize based on where you are at this point in the year. The year a lot can happen, within a 12-month period, right? But even more can happen within a 6-month period. The way we start the year, the goals that we have, the plans that we have, we're excited in January, a lot of the time just coming off, a New Year's celebration, eager to start this new year. And then you get to like March and April, and, things start to become real, right? Start to maybe slow down or even pick up and get more busier, or things aren't working out the way that you wanted to, and you got to kind of push through. And then you get to the mid-year where, it's summertime, it's hot, kids are out of school. It's a lot of vacationing happening, a lot of rest time happening, a lot of, time where people take time off. And I think this is a perfect period in the year, especially for those of us who are really adamant about the things that we do, and we prioritize our list, and we set goals and strategize plans to execute these goals that we put in place. It's a good time to reflect, a good time to really sit down and just think, man, what the things that I've accomplished, did I really put my all into it? Did I do the best, give the best effort that I could have given? Was there more that I could have done? And then if things were successful, man, okay, that was great. How were we able to accomplish this? Man, what can we do better? Where can we still work and perfect and develop the things that we have accomplished? And how can we finish the year strong? You don't need a new year to make a new decision. You just need a mirror, and the courage to respond to what you see. Say it again. You don't need a new year to make a new decision. You just need a mirror, right? And the courage in looking in that mirror to respond to what you see. So at this point in the year, if you are looking at the reflection in that mirror and you see someone who has progressed, right, and has done a lot from over the last 6 months, and you're proud of that person, the onus is not to get content with that, right, and still to, man, okay, let's double down, let's make it better, let's go higher, right, let's do bigger things. Or if you're looking in the mirror and you see someone who had a lot of ambition and aspirations at the beginning of the year, but you kind of fell off, or not, really where you want to be at this point in the year, man, this is only the halfway point. You still have time to realign yourself. You still have time to refocus. You still have time to readjust, the things that you need to readjust in order to get you back on the right track. Don't look at wherever you are, don't look at it as a discouragement, right? Just look at it as a checkpoint, man. This is a reality check. This is where I'm at. Yeah, I had all of these grandiose plans and goals that I wanted to execute for the year. May not be exactly where I want to be, but I'm here, right? Which means I still have the opportunity to accomplish the things that I want to accomplish. I want to introduce you to the Monroe Global app, the ultimate platform to empower your leadership journey and inspire your purpose-filled life. Access timeless teachings designed to help you grow in every area of your life. From leadership development to personal growth, Monroe Global has it all at your fingertips. With the Monroe Global app, you'll have exclusive access to powerful videos and messages from the legendary Dr. Myles Munroe, a digital library packed with life-changing content right at your fingertips, and a vibrant global community of visionaries, leaders, and change makers just like you. Whether you're at home, on the go, or in the office, the Monroe Global app ensures you never miss an opportunity to learn, grow, and lead. Available now on Google Play and the Apple App Store, the Monroe Global app is your gateway to unlocking your potential and impacting your world. Download the Monroe Global app today and take the first steps toward living the life you were born to lead. The question you need to ask yourself is, what do I need to complete, to close or to correct, right? What do I need to complete what it is that I've done, to close off the parts of the relationships or the networks or, friendships that maybe I don't need to be a part of anymore. And then what do I need to do to correct the wrongs that I've made or the missteps that I've had? So it's all about completion, closing, and correcting, right? And at this point in the year, these are the type of questions that we need to be asking ourselves. Usually at this time of year, I'm sitting down and I'm just going over the first half of my year. I look at my goals, and with it being mid-year, this is also the end of the second quarter, right? So this gives a good this is a good opportunity for us to see how we've done over the first 2 quarters of the year. So I don't only do this personally, I do this professionally as well, and I do it spiritually. This year I've committed to fasting at the beginning of each quarter, right? So for me, it's a commitment that I don't only want to ensure that I'm focusing myself on a personal and professional level. I want to make sure I'm focusing myself on a spiritual level as well. So fasting allows me to realign myself, right? To ensure that as I go through each new quarter of this year, I'm aligning my spirit man to where it needs to be, right? Connecting to the Creator to ensure that I'm continuing to get great insight, get great guidance, and just remaining prayerful, right? Prayerful through all of the challenges. I spoke about this on an earlier pod, right? Where this is the year of challenges for me. So just staying committed to completing, right? And making it through. That's the goal. So, asking yourself, what do you need to do to complete, to correct, and to close is ideal at this point, right? Take some time, set some time aside. You don't need a week. You may just need 24 hours, right? You take 24 hours, you lock yourself in a room, and you just, whether you using a pen and notepad or using your phone notes or your computer, whatever it is, but sit in a quiet spot and use this time to reflect. And I think you'll be able to get a real-time answer for where you are. And if you're really honest with yourself, you can tell, man, I am where I'm supposed to be right now, or man, I'm not. I was fooling around, not really focused, not really committed throughout the first part of this year. I need to really lock down. I need to end some relationships. I need to remove myself from particular circles, right? And just focus on the things that I need to prioritize in my life. And my encouragement to you is, if not now, when? Right? This is the time to do that, right? So, I think you should be reviewing, right? You review the goals you set, check off what's been completed, highlight where things fell off, and figure out, man, what can I do to realign myself and get back on track with it. Identify those distractions, identify the delays, identify the detours, right? We all have challenges, right, on a daily basis. There are things that come up unexpectedly, expectedly sometimes. But the key is to be able to identify them, right? Call them out, name them, and say, man, this is a distraction. How am I going to deal with this? Am I going to really prioritize this on the top of my list, or is this something that I shouldn't be concerning myself with, getting too emotionally connected to it, because it's going to delay me and deter me from the goals, the real goals that I set for myself for this year.
Do you feel like there's more to life than what you're experiencing? That deep down, you're meant for something greater? It's time to stop wondering and start discovering. At the Monroe Institute of Leadership, we believe every person carries a unique purpose, a calling designed specifically for you. Our transformative courses, Discover Purpose and Unlock Your Potential, are crafted to help you uncover that purpose and equip you with the tools to step confidently into your destiny. These powerful courses are for leaders, entrepreneurs, students, and visionaries like you. Through proven principles and actionable insights, you will clarify your vision and set bold goals. You will identify your strengths and passions. You will overcome the barriers holding you back, and you will step boldly into your God-given potential. Our expert facilitators draw from timeless and tested principles, blending practical strategies with kingdom truths to empower you to lead a life of purpose, impact, and transformation. The world needs what you have to offer. Don't let another day pass without unlocking the greatness within you. Visit our website, themill.org, and register today. The Monroe Institute of Leadership. Renew your mind and transform a generation.
And then it's all about realignment, right? You don't have to restart. You don't have to, wipe the slate clean and start from scratch, right? Just realign where you are. You're pivoting, right? You're just moving from one point or one trajectory to another, saying, man, this is not the path that I want to go down. Let me pivot. Or you may be experiencing something that was out of your control and you're forced to pivot, right? But it's all about just staying committed, right? Or recommitting yourself, right? And saying no when it's necessary. At this point in the year, you should have a great handle on what you want to do, this year, what you want to accomplish this year, and what it's going to take to accomplish those things. And I'm sure you've had, conversations, calls, meetings, people interested in pulling you in every which way, right? Trying to either get your time, get your resources, get something from you that may or may not, deter you from what the main thing is for you, especially for this year. But the goal is that you have to be committed to saying no, right? And just realigning yourself, not necessarily restarting once again, but just realignment, right? And saying, man, I detoured, I got off track for the first half of this year, and I want to get back on track. So I'm committed to realigning myself. And then you just simplify, prioritize, and complete. All right? And you have those three things you can do before the end of this year. You simplify tasks. Sometimes we have these big ideas, these grandiose goals that we want to set for ourselves. And sometimes we bite off more than we can chew, right? And we realize, man, this is causing me not to be able to accomplish the things that I want to accomplish. So sometimes you just got to simplify things, right? Just break it up. Look at, I have 6 months left in this year. How can I divide these tasks? How can I strategize this plan or this goal that I've set in order to space out the things that I need to accomplish to get to the end goal? And just simplify it. Simplify the process as best you can, right? And then prioritize those things that are most important and commit to completing the goal, right? Take it to completion. The calendar did not cancel your calling. We're in July, and whether you feel you are where you should be or you don't feel like you are where you should be, the calendar doesn't mean you can't accomplish or still accomplish what it is you set out to do. The calendar doesn't cancel your calling. It just identifies where you are, right? And allows you the time and the opportunity to, again, refocus, recommit yourself, realign yourself, and get back on track. And that's my encouragement for you in this episode, in particular because we are in the month of July, in the 7th month of the year. We still have time, man. 2025 isn't done. We still have a lot of months, a lot of weeks left, a lot of days left to stay committed, right? Just remain focused. Keep at it. Stay committed to the vision that you've seen, the things that the pictures that you were given in your mind, in your head, right? And just know that, regardless of any setbacks, any detours, any delays, the main thing needs to remain the main thing, right? And that's accomplishing the goals that you've set, living out your purpose throughout this year and beyond, and just committing to complete, right? Committing to seeing it to completion. And I just want to encourage you with that through this episode, okay? All right, so that brings us to the milestone for today. And with this milestone, I want to just kind of pray a prayer of declaration, not just over myself, but over all of us, right? Especially at this point in the year, right? We are halfway through the year, and I just want to help and encourage you in that commitment that we are setting for this year, right? So, as we pray, Lord, as I stand in this 7th month, I thank you for what you've done, and I surrender to what you still desire to do in me. I reset my mind, realign my heart, and recommit to the vision you gave me. Let the second half of this year be marked by obedience, clarity, and completion. That's my prayer for me. That's my prayer for you. Throughout the rest of this year, I'm encouraging you to commit to completing, right? Don't just say, man, I'll get it next year. Nah, don't delay what you can do for this year, right? Don't deny yourself of staying on track, staying in purpose, okay? That's my commitment. That's my encouragement to you for the rest of 2025, all right? So that's it. Brings us to the end of this episode. Again, I just wanted to continue to encourage you as always, man. I love what I'm able to do with this podcast, and I try to affect all aspects of life, right? Not just our spiritual life, but our professional and personal lives as well. And if I can encourage you to get back on track as we are at the half point of this year, then that's what I'm going to continue to do. All right, because as always, the vision and goal of this podcast is to entertain, educate, and elevate you miles high above your fears, your doubts, and any limitations that you may think exist, always knowing that those limitations only exist in your mind. All right, so until next time, you guys stay blessed.